Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I am here with another Stamp Time with Friends Roll of the Dice challenge. And this is hosted by Karam Bailey, who is Sweet's Signature Creations. And basically what this challenge is, Karan literally rolls the dice and the dice tell us what our card challenge is going to be. So here was what our cards needed to be this month. And we do this on the second Sunday of the month around, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern. Today's dice say we have to use slimline, in colors, paper piecing, ribbon or twine, congratulations, and do-it-yourself designer series paper. So before I show you my project, I just want to let you know that starting this month, we are going to have prizes. Each person's prize is going to be different. For me, my prize is just going to be a little gift pack of Stampin' Up items, probably some gems, some dimensionals, maybe a stamp set. I haven't decided yet, to be honest, because I'm getting ready to move. And so I had to do this video early. But this is going to be a prize video. All you have to do is put a comment down below in the comment section and, you know, tell me, give me some feedback. Do you guys like these challenges? Do you want to, you know, have more of these challenges? Do you want to participate? What do you want to do? Let me know. Okay, so here's my project. You guys are going to love it. Slimline. Look at how absolutely gorgeous these cards turned out. I love them. And you can see all I did was change the measurements of the do-it-yourself designer series paper and then the panel. And so it just kind of changes the look a little bit. So you make a whole bunch of these with the same concept, but change the measurements and they look different, right? You can sell a pack of 4 at your craft fair or give it away as a gift. And then I also did the insides a little bit different. And there are the envelopes. Stampin' Up no longer sells the slimline cards, but I just ordered some A10 envelopes from Amazon and they fit. They're a little bit bigger than a normal A10 envelope, but it works. Okay, so for the card I'm going to show you on camera, we're going to use the bigger background with the smaller panel. Okay, so let me show you everything that I used real quick, starting with the stamp set. Stamp set is the Planted Paradise. That is from the mini catalog January through April 2024. This just went live on January 6th. If you go to page 47, that is where you will find the stamp set. And this stamp set is super cool because the front side of the stamp has like the veins and then the back side is the solid images. Okay, so when you get your stamp set, it shows you both the front of the stamp and the back of the stamp. So you open it up and you have this, okay? Use the front and the back. Why am I saying this 100 times? Because I didn't read that. It says it all over this, right? They told us that before it was coming out. I forgot. And so I see all of this here. I open up my stamp set and I'm like, bruh, they forgot my whole other stamp set. So I had to come back to the catalog and it says stamps are reversible. So the front side is the lined and the back side is the solid. So yeah, my bad. Anyway, funny story. Okay, so we're using that. And then the rest of the items are in our annual catalog, May 2023 through April 2024. On page 123, well actually 122, are in colors. And so I used the copper clay for my base and basic white for my panels. Oh, where's my other little panel? And then I used the inks, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, and I did not use the Pebbled Path in my previous cards, but I'm going to use it for this one because we're just going to change it up just a little bit, right? Okay. All right. And then on page 140, let's see, I think it's 144. Yeah, 144. We're using the natural wavy trim, which is this here. And then on page 145 are your everyday items, your paper snips, your bone folder, your paper trimmer, take your pick tool, etc. We're also going to use Wink of Stella, and we are going to use some of these gems. I cannot remember what catalog these came. They may have been all-in exclusives, but the item number is in the description box. You can use any gems you want. And I also use my favorite H block. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, your measurements are going to be in your description box, but for a slimline card, you need to cut your cardstock 7 by 8.5. And on the short side, so put the 7-inch side at the top of your scoreboard. You're going to score it at 3.5. Okay, that makes your base. Again, measurements are in the description box. Okay. Also, out of your copper clay, you're going to need a panel. Now, your panel is going to vary in sizes. I'm going to give you the measurements for this one, but if you want the longer one, you're just going to add 1 inch to the length. Okay. But for the shorter panel, this is, I forgot already, 2.5 by 4.25. So 2.5 by 4.25. So that's all we need out of our copper clay. Okay, now we're going to move on to our basic white, and we need 2 panels which measure 3.25 by 8.25, and that is going to give you the full background like this one. Okay, and that gives you your inside panel. If you want a smaller panel with a bigger border, obviously just cut your paper down. And this one I had to, this was actually a happy accident. I stamped all my stuff and then I dropped the stamp on the side and I was like, oh, I don't like that. So I just cut that off, and that's how we got this little baby panel. And I think it looks absolutely adorable on here. I love this card. Okay, so you need those 2 panels, and then you need 1 panel which is 2 3/8 by 4 1/8, and that is going to be your panel to go on top of here. If you want that 1/8 of an inch border, if you want a bigger border, obviously cut your paper smaller. Okay. My congratulations stamps, I already stamped it. I don't know, honestly, if this stamp is Stampin' Up. I have a bucket of stamps that they don't have a home. I've given the stamp set away. You know, I found them attached to something else. You know, I don't know. So I don't know if this is Stampin' Up or not, but that's what I had, and so I used it. Okay. And again, our envelope, which I already stamped on that. Okay, so we have our slimline. The paper piecing is a little bit different. Okay, there's different definitions for different people. So for scrapbookers, it's one definition. For card makers, it's one definition. For quilters, a different definition. So we're all going to interpret paper piecing differently. How I was taught what paper piecing is when you pop up the same exact image, like you stamp it down and then you stamp it again and you piece it over the top. That is what I was taught paper piecing is. So that's what I have done here. Now, other people were taught that paper piecing is like, say you have a picture, a stamp of a little girl, right, with a dress on. You stamp her in, you know, on a cardstock of one color, like say basic white. You're going to stamp her on basic white. And then you're going to stamp her again on your designer series paper and cut out her dress and then glue her dress onto where she was stamped on the basic white. that's another version of paper piecing. Another version of paper piecing is when you take various shapes and you turn it into something different, right? Like you take a whole bunch of like maybe hexagons and you turn it into, I don't know, a tree. So those are the different definitions. So however you interpret paper piecing, you know, that's how you're going to do. Okay, so what we need to do is go ahead and pull our stamps and stamp our images. Okay, so I pulled my pot. Let me get my graph paper here. This is Stampin' Up! Graph paper. You can purchase this as well. And then I need to fill to see which side is the side with the lines. And I need my copper clay ink. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. I just stamped it down to make sure that I got the right side. And I'm going to stamp it directly onto my paper. I have hair in my stamp. Ugh. Okay, let me clean that off. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it straight down and straight up. And with the ink colors, they dry lighter than what they stamp on, in case anybody was wondering that. All right. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, and I already did it. So you're going to stamp it straight down and straight up on your paper. And then you're also going to stamp it straight down, straight up on a piece of scrap paper, and you're going to cut it out. Okay? And next we're going to take our leaf and we're going to do the same thing. But we're going to use the wild wheat. The wild wheat is like a yellow, green, brown color. I don't even know how to describe it. All right, so I'm going to stamp off. Okay, I got the right side. So now what I'm going to do is ink it up, and I'm going to make this one a little diagonal. Okay, now with my stamp, I'm going to go ahead and move it over just a little bit, not re-inking, just so I have that shadow effect. So it looks like my basket is full, or my pot is full. Now I'm going to go ahead and re-ink. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go right in the middle, straight up and down. And again, with my stamp not re-inked, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it again. So I have another little layer of leaves. And now I'm going to re-ink it, and I'm going to turn it diagonal and stamp down. So there you go. So you have like a little lighter leaves in the back. So here's it with the leaves, and then this one I did not do that with. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and re-ink, and you're going to stamp your leaves 3 times. And then you're going to cut them out. Okay. Okay. I think I made mine a little too close to the top, but that's okay. I went ahead and took out my other stamps we're going to need in a minute. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere our twine, excuse my hand, which is this here. I'm going to take my tearing tape, which is 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to lay that down just above my plant. Give myself a little extra tape on the left and the right. Oh my gosh. My hair is everywhere today. That's annoying. Kind of, I don't like hair in my projects, which is fine. I mean, these ones I'm actually just using, these are just going to be my samples, and so if I was giving these to someone, I would have completely started over. Anyway, all right, so all I did was put my tape around the back. And I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to start around the back. And just bring it around. Oh, I hope I was in frame for that. Okay, so just, that's it. Now, if you attach this panel before you add your twine, that's fine. I forgot to add my twine on one of these, and so I had it attached around the entire panel instead of just the white piece. It was fine. You know, be kind to yourself. All right, so we got that done. Now let's go ahead and add our pieces. So I want to put my leaves down first because they are overlapping the clay pot. So I'm going to flip them over and I'm putting dimensionals. I use a lot of dimensionals. That's just my comfort level. That's one of the biggest comments I get, that people say I use way too many. But that's what I do. Okay, there's that. And I'm just cutting off little pieces of the border so I can put on the top of my leaves. And that little point. There we go. Okay. So when you put your leaves down, you can directly cover your stamped image, or you can just kind of, if you want to, you know, make it a little offset, you can. I'm going to put it directly over my stamped image. I'm going to do the left, the right, and then the middle. Okay. In my middle. I love that. Gorgeous. Okay, now on my stamped and cut out clay pot, I'm going to put my dimensional towards the bottom. And then I'm going to cut half of one, kind of here. No, I don't need one right there. It's fine. I put it towards the bottom because I don't want to have double foam on the top, because it's going to be too bulky on the top. So I was going to put a little bit of wet glue on the bottom here. Use whatever wet glue you can. I'm allergic to Tombow, so I can't use Tombow. I completely missed where my glue went. Okay. How about we put glue on the top of that so we know exactly where it needs to be. There we go. Okay. So now all we need are our gems, and that panel is done. And I am working slower than what I typically work, and that is just so I can cater to every craft level. These cards really don't take that long. Once I got the design of the card, I made the second one in less than 10 minutes. So if you're a fast crafter, these are going to be quick. If you're a slow crafter, they're going to take a little bit more time, and that is okay. Alright, so now you can go ahead and glue this panel onto the copper clay panel. Okay. So what I'm going to do to make sure that that ribbon sticks, I'm going to put tear and tape over the ribbon, and then I'm going to do wet glue for the rest of it. This just gives me a peace of mind that that ribbon is going to stay because it is bulky. And honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of scrap paper and I'm just going to cut just like two pieces of scrap, don't matter what size, just so I can make the bottom the same height as the top, if that makes sense. There we go. I'll probably need one more piece on there. That way your card is even, like your layer is even. It's not going to have that bowing in the middle because we have made sure that it's the same height. And no one's going to know what the underneath layer looks like. Okay. Here we go. Center it as best as you can. And there we go. Hold it down. There we go. See how everything just kind of matches? There's no bowing. It looks great because we met that height. Okay, so put that aside to dry. And now we're going to stamp our do-it-yourself designer series paper and our inside and our envelope. Okay, so how I did mine is I took the little leaf branch things, this one and this one, and I put the longest one on my block on the right, and then the shorter one on the left, and I put that stem up and the other one stem down, and I just went for it. So I started with Moody Mauve, and I inked it up, stamped it off to make sure I'm where I want to be, and then I just randomly stamped it around, not really caring where I put it. I think I need some more up here. You know, doing some off the page. Okay, that's good. Oh goodness. And then I'm gonna clean my, take care of the sticker and then clean my stamp. Okay, my stamp is clean. Let me put my ink it. And now I'm just gonna go in here like so. And actually on the other ones, I think what I did was I flipped the stamp over, and I actually did that with Wild Wheat first, and then I did Boho Blue, but it honestly, it doesn't matter what order you put it in. And I want some more blue kind of maybe up here. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this stamp, and I'm actually going to come in with some pebbled path because I didn't use pebbled path with the other ones. But I'm going to use the circle. So let me clean this. Okay, so see this one I did, you know, just random. But I'm going to come in with the circle. And I'm going to do some pebbled path on this one. All right, that's the solid circle. I don't want the solid. I think I want the open circle. Yeah, I want the open circle. So I'm just going to come in with the pebbled path, and I'm just going to make some circles. This is super cute. And then my final color will be the wild wheat. And then a little half circle there. Okay, I like that. All right, clean my stamp and get my wild wheat. And okay, so now what I'm going to do is move my, oh, it's wet. I'm moving my, these like little flower things to the opposite side because I may want to do some big, some little. So whatever can fit. And I think I'm going to put wild wheat on an angle. So really make it yours, you know. It does not have to be the same every single time. Just have a play. Have a great time with it. And then wherever my big one doesn't fit, I just flip it and squeeze in the little one. Okay, so you're just going to continue on until you have the desired look. Okay, so I like that, and I just realized that I forgot to do the inside, and so I got to open up all my inks again, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna, this is gonna be for the inside of my card, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on my envelope, just so we have pretty insides, pretty envelope, everything matches, and nothing looks like an afterthought. Okay, so now I'm gonna do, it really doesn't matter what order you put your stamps. Okay, so you're just gonna continue on with the different colors. Okay, so got all my things stamped how I want them to be stamped. So all we have left to do is to go ahead and put our panels together. So if you have the Stampin' Up 12 by 12 paper, you can just make a whole sheet of the background and cut it, you know, to the various sizes you want. You can do like a one sheet oneer with your do-it-yourself background. Okay, so this is my inside, and this is how I want mine. So put it in the center as best as you can. There we go. And close it. We need to do our top panel. Again, decide what size you want it. If you want it to be the same size, obviously follow the same measurements I put in the description box, or cut it down. Alright, my tape is almost out. Okay. Put this in the center as best as you can. Okay. And now we have our panel. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to use wet glue on this one because it's a little bit heavier. So I really need this to stick down. Okay. And our panel goes right here in the middle, or you can put it at the top, the bottom, it's your card. Alright, and I love that. And then you're just going to take your Wink of Stella and you're just going to add as much or as little Wink of Stella as you want. I love Wink of Stella, so I always add a lot. And then I'm just going to add some in here. Why not? All right. That is my card. Here's my little gift pack here. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.